Okay.
What's going on, people? What's going on?
Hey, hey,
What's up,
hello
family?
everybody. I'm trying to
Hello,
see us on the
hello,
board.
hello. Another
Ah,
great week.
What's going on?
that's
I'm
right. That's
adjust
right.
my camera, so please excuse me.
Yeah.
My
I want everybody to see my shirt real quick.
so
Morris
everybody
I
got
want
Brown.
shirts
everybody to
on
see my
again.
shirt.
Morris Brown.
The Morris Brown. So, I got to represent at all times. You got to represent at all times. Okay. So y'all ready to get rolling?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
So
get rolling.
all right, everybody. So how you doing? Happy Saturday, everybody, all our Facebook friends and family, and now fans. That feels funny saying that, right? So hello, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Erskine Alexander, and I'm checking in from the great city and state of New York. Represent New York all the way to the fullest. Just to give you a little inside information about me, I'm an actor here in New York, and I'm also a mental health clinician here in New York. And so we've all been on this quarantine mission for about a month now. So our show was created to just bring some awareness and just to have some fun.
Mhm.
That's really, really what it's about: having a great time and just enjoying each other and just getting your opinion and your thoughts about what's going on and how everybody, as well as the world, how everybody has adjusted to this whole quarantine process. So, again, my name is Erskine E.J. Alexander, checking in from New York, and I'm going to introduce and I'm going to let my ladies take it from there.
Hello,
Nitra.
I'm Nitra. I normally go last, but I'm Nitra. I'm right here in the DMV, but on the Maryland side. By day, I am a IT director for a Navy base. By night, I'm a cheer mom. What else am I? A jack of all trade and a master
Of
of
all
some.
trades.
And I'm gonna turn it over to Kahana.
Hey, y'all. What's going on? I'm Kate Lene. I'm checking in from Washington, D.C., Southeast. I'm happy to be here with my fellow co hosters, Nitra and EJ. We got a lot to chop it up about tonight. So let's go ahead. As Nitra would say, let's get into it.
Let's get
Let's
into
get
it.
into it.
Get into it, everybody. Oh, so this week has been very eventful, as we all know.
Very
Wow,
eventful.
wow, wow, wow. So we want to first jump on. First of all, we want to give a big rest in peace to Little Richard, who
Oh,
passed away,
that's right.
unfortunately, as well as Mr. Andre Harrell, the founder of Uptown Records here in New York. He passed away as well. So rest in peace and condolences to the family and the friends and everybody that's associated with the Uptown record label, especially Sean Combs. Andre
Mm-hmm.
Harrell
Mm-hmm.
is responsible for the career of Sean Puffy Combs, founder of Uptown
Yes.
Records. So we just want to give a big shout out and a big rest in peace to him and his family, and we wish them nothing but the best.
Yes.
So as we continue to carry on, uh, we want to talk about this interesting situation in Georgia with Mr. Ahmad. It's
Mm-hmm.
so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I correct me, shame on me. What was Mr. Ahmad's last name?
I
Aubrey.
yeah, I would
Aubrey.
pronounce it
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Ahmad Arbery, as you all know, was jogging in Brunswick, Georgia, if I'm
Yeah.
correct. And he was rolled up on by two white gentlemen who thought he fit the
I wouldn't call them
description.
gentlemen.
Mm. I know
Oh,
that's
okay.
right.
We won't
The
call him gentlemen.
animals.
But anyway, he was approached by two white men who thought he fit the description of somebody who had been breaking into the neighborhood or was robbing or doing whatever, whatever. And so he was approached, and unfortunately, he was shot. He
Mm.
was shot. Now, shame on me because I did not know that this happened back in February.
Yes,
It
that's the part I was gonna bring
I
up.
think
yeah,
after my
it
birthday.
happened back in February. It happened back in
Mm-hmm.
February, and the tape was leaked out on Wednesday, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah. So that goes to show you. We just want to get everybody's insight, your thoughts, and your feelings about that. How you guys feel about what took place with that situation, and why did it take so long for them to arrest these guys for clearly shooting a guy in daylight? All right, we want to know everybody's thoughts and feelings about that, and we also want to speak on it just as an organization here with Unfiltered No Chaser. So, ladies,
Right.
I'm gonna open up the floor with you, ladies. I'm gonna let Nietzsche go first. You tell me, what did you think about that whole situation? I got my opinion about it, and I'm gonna come back after Kayla and they say her part.
Okay, so what I my first question was who shot the video? Because I thought at first that it was someone that just happened to be driving down the street to actually rode up on him jogging and saw the whole thing and they took it out. Because my thing was okay, so when was this leaked? If this happened in February, when was this leaked? Um, so I originally thought that the video was shot by a person that was passing by, but then when I found out that, but but then when I found out that the guy was actually with the other two white guys, I was like,
Lynch mob.
so yeah, exactly, because it was like that was premeditated. Like you all had guns, because they even said that the guy that was recording had a gun and it was cocked. They actually boxed him in at first,
Oh my God.
and then the son and the father went from behind the person that was recording and pulled up to the side. And that's when the son jumped out. But I'm just trying to understand, why did you do that? This is not Duck Hunt. You're not playing the Nintendo. The young man was minding his own fucking business, trying to do what a lot of people that you see now since we're in quarantine is actually doing, exercising. And like EJ and I was talking, that's why I'm always worried about, and I tell people all the time, and I learned this from when I was active duty, you have to pay attention to your surroundings. And a lot of times when people are outside jogging, walking, raking the grass, mowing the yards, they're wearing earbuds or headphones on. They have the music blasting. They're not paying attention. And it just broke my heart that this young man, he wasn't doing anything but exercising, running down the street. And then you got three bum ass people coming and they just took his life away for what? And then you try to say, oh, well, we thought he had a bicycle. It doesn't matter. You're not the fucking police. And one of you all was a former cop. So now that makes me wonder why the hell you're not even on the police force anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think this is just another episode of Black people being haunted in this country, and it's something that's happened for hundreds of years. And while it may subside or be hidden for a while, it seems like these incidents are always coming to the light. They keep happening. And I mean, just shout out to Mr. Arbery's family. May he rest in peace and a happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday. He would have been 26 years old. This young man was just beginning his life. And, just to go back a minute about that tape. So, I had read a couple of articles about that tape. And so apparently the guy who leaked it came out and said that he leaked the tape because he didn't want it to be a riot or something. I don't know. And, the whole thing about the bicycle, that's something new, because when I heard the prosecutor talk, the prosecutor said that that the two white gentlemen said that they caught Ahmaud peeking in the house of a house that was being built, like a construction house, and he was looking in the window. So I don't even know what
people do that all the time.
I was just thinking about, me and my husband, we out here looking for houses now, and we do that all the time. So I'm like, is that
one of my neighbors that I talk to on a regular, we're walking our dog, lives down the street and round the freaking corner from my house. Okay, which if I walk from my house to his house, it's a good maybe 5-minute walk, if that. And he has been in not only my house when I was building my house, he went in everybody's house on this side of the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just not an excuse.
What was different in our houses versus his house that was built a year prior.
Yeah, it's just no excuse. It's no excuse.
None at all.
You know what I mean? And it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I got a house full of men. So, this just sends my anxiety level up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just unfortunate, man. It has to be something that has to change. The conversation amongst Black people and white people needs to change. The conversation between Black people needs to change. Conversations within our household needs to change. And people just need to start vocalizing, voicing their opinion and having some kind of voice out here, because this is absolutely insane, man. I mean, we can't jog, we can't play with toy guns, we can't go to the store and get lemonade and Skittles. I mean, it's a real sad situation, man. I was very emotional on Wednesday night when I seen that tape. I kind of stumbled on it by accident and just kind of strolling on Facebook and clicking on stuff. And when I saw the video of this young man getting shot, I mean, it is absolutely devastating. And I
Yeah.
mean, it is it's devastating. I'm just thinking about the tape. It just makes me a little choked up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those things that I want to give a big shout out before I continue my piece on that on Mr. Audrey. Um, Big shout out to my classmate, Mr. Kevin Edmondson, who put up a phenomenal video the other day.
Yes,
Kevin
our
Edmondson,
classmate.
our classmate, Mr. Kevin, shame on me, Nitra. Our classmate, Mr. Kevin Edmondson, who basically put up a tape about, and this speaks on my end too, because I exercise. I take pride in exercise, and I do jog around my neighborhood. It's a particular area that I jog around, just to stay in shape. It's something
Hmm.
that we've all become aware of now because of the whole quarantine situation, right? But I can honestly sit here and say that when I went jogging on Thursday after this video came out, I got my earbuds in and I'm jogging. But every time I saw a white person, it was so unfortunate that was in the area, I'd lower the music and I'm like this, and it's so unfortunate. It was probably, I got through the jog and I did what I normally do as far as exercise is concerned. But the jog in itself was a little interesting because that could be any of us. That could
Could
be
be any
any of
of
us,
us.
and someone could say, "Well, you fit the description." Now I'm running with a hoodie on and sweatshirt and everything, so I'm definitely looking very rough around the edges, but I'm just trying to exercise. I'm going to exercise just for a
Hmm.
peace of mind. And it's so sad that you have to have some kind of paranoia with you because of situations like this. So we have to move different. We have to move different. We have to strategize differently as a culture. We have to do things differently when we're out in public. And we have to just hope and pray that the justice system will start, hopefully one day will wake up for us, because
See, but
clearly
I just don't think that's a reality.
you know what, and
Yeah,
it's sad to
I really
say.
do not think that it's a reality until we
It-
start
it-
getting some young people, some new blood up
right,
in the justice and Department of Justice and the law enforcement, and then just to take it back, like
right.
I don't know, it was just one of y'all who somebody he was an ex cop. I mean,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
for
see, I
nothing.
didn't even know that.
The history of the police force. They all were their ancestors were slave catchers, and then they eventually just started migrating into uh, positions of power, mainly the police. And so I mean the mentality hasn't changed. You know what I mean? Why everybody, I don't know if everybody's just in denial and think that this is 2020 and these things just don't happen anymore. But our community, some of the people in our community are being hunted. They're being hunted. They're
Yeah,
being
yeah,
slaughtered like
Yeah,
animals
they
in
yeah,
the
are.
yeah,
street, and there's no respect for the families. I mean, this young man got shot in February, and here it is May, and these guys
yeah,
were
Before
yeah.
just
we ever
arrested
heard
a few
anything.
days ago. And I
Yeah.
mean, and had that tape not come out, Mr. Arbery's family was still, his family would be still somewhere trying to be heard. Had
Wow.
social media
Wow.
not been in play, we probably still wouldn't know what was going on down there in
Right,
Georgia.
right.
And again, my question is how did the tape come out? Because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if you're part of this whole assassination team, you didn't just willy nilly put it out. I think maybe he probably sent it to somebody thinking that shit was funny and it's not funny, and they probably turned him in. But I'm just saying, how like you're not chasing a damn turkey. You're not shooting a fucking deer. You're not shooting a damn rattlesnake. You're shooting a fucking person with a
But
whole
see, that's the
life
problem.
ahead of them. A
That's the
whole life
problem.
ahead of him. My son is
Hmm.
21 years old. And I used to wonder, damn, like, Mateo, go outside, do something. Like, why are you just sitting in the house?
Hmm.
I'm grateful that he's a homebody,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but I still want him to enjoy life. But at the same time, now I got to teach my son, like I have been teaching him since the whole Trayvon Martin thing, and
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
whole issue with me and Kahana at one time.
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole Trayvon
Hmm.
Martin. Now I got to reteach my son and unteach him the things that I like. I didn't have problems with white people. I never got called a nigga. I never was mistreated by a white person. Hell, my first boyfriend it was white boy. but but but
Look, spill that tea.
Spill that tea.
oh,
But we're not gonna
from
go
high
there.
school, no. But that's a whole nother story on him.
That's a whole
But
nother story.
but my thing is, I didn't have that perspective on life growing up, and I
Yeah.
went to one of the blackest high schools that it was in Columbus,
Yes.
Georgia. Okay,
Yes.
so of course, my mom and my grandmother didn't care who I dated. The thing is as long as they respect you, as long as they like you. Okay, it wasn't to the whole Trayvon Martin thing that honestly my eyes looked totally different. And Kahana and I got into it a little bit, not like but we kind of was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what are you talking about?" She was like, "Nisha, you gotta wisen up. White people that I'm like, you the blackest Manila looking person I know." Like it was a whole thing, and we was in the middle of DC.
We was on the
The
train.
Deltas were celebrating their anniversary.
Yeah, that's right.
And we was on the metro because they had a Black Hair Expo, so it was a whole ordeal. But I thank God for Kahana because she loved me enough not to be mad at me, but try to say, "Hey, look, you got to look at it this way." And so I took that after I calmed down from listening to her rhetoric and her foolishness, and I started looking at life different. Because I'm telling you now, when Trayvon Martin was that whole court case with Zimmerman, let me tell you, baby. I sat there and watched that whole court case from the time it started in the morning until the time it went off the air. And when they found Trayvon Martin, when they found George Zimmerman not guilty,
oh God,
it was like I was heartbroken. And I'm talking about the heartbroken as if you just broke up with your dude and you don't know why, and this dude just left you. I was seriously like I literally dressed in all black that whole fucking week because that's how heartbroken I looked, and I looked at things totally different. So for you to come and tell me that it's okay to shoot down an innocent person because they're minding their business and they're out here jogging, I just think that shit is just fucking ludicrous and crazy. Because the reality of it is, if it was the other way around, a little Tommy running down a goddamn street, and Corey, Chris, and Mike, and maybe Jaheim was in their pickup trucks. Look, they're Chargers, they're Dodge Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be a whole fucking ordeal.
See,
we would have thought about it.
Right.
We would have thought it right when they got arrested that damn night.
The problem is that Black people, we really need to start understanding that, it's some white people out here who do not see us who do not recognize our humanity.
Right.
And I'm at the point right now where I'm tired of trying to force feed my humanity to somebody. You know what I mean? It's time. It's time to fight back. It's time to protect yourself. It's time to do something different, because just sitting here and, no disrespect to the people out there who marching. I was actually happy to see those kids out there marching, and they marched to the dude's home and stood out there in front of his house. And then after I sat and thought about it, I said, wow, that could have went completely different. That could have been real dangerous. Like, you don't know who this man know. He could have called up all his little clan brothers and everybody else, and it could have been a whole big scene on there. But at the same time, like, what do y'all think? Like, is there a time where it's time to kick some ass? It's time to fight back. It's time to fuck turning the other cheek. Forget forgiveness right now. It's time to just basically take back your power. I'm completely torn on that whole thing, because I'm not gonna get beat up by nobody. Nobody's gonna sit and beat me up. But that's what Black people are doing right now, yo. We being beat up. We being beat up, and the consequences aren't there. Nobody's being held accountable.
Right. That's the problem.
You know what I mean? And so that's my whole thing. Like right now, if this happens, they drag this thing out, they go to court, everything. What happens if these guys are not prosecuted and they don't go to jail? I mean, because it's right there in your face.
Yeah.
You know,
and the video showed everything.
The video showed everything. Did Trayvon Martin. Did Tamir Rice, who got shot sitting on a playground playing with a toy gun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They never come up. They're never as willing to negotiate or try to calm the situation down. It's always when they see somebody of color and they are automatically intimidated, they automatically in fear, they're automatically afraid, they automatically feel threatened, and they automatically let them bullets fly.
Well,
Right.
this is what I was going back to saying with Nietzsche. We spoke on this earlier today. There are some white people out there that do support African Americans. So let's be clear on that. There are.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Very clear.
there are some out there, yeah, there's some out there that don't want to see us do well. So the ones that are educated or aware or they have the knowledge of certain things, that's cool, right? That's cool. But the problem that you run into, you still got people, and I hate to say this about our culture, is that we wilding out. We not doing what we supposed to do. So you have people that overlook the people that are educated, that are aware of that have knowledge and understand how you're supposed to conduct yourself as business wise. They get it. But you have white people that look at the very low people of that side and they say, oh, well, we're so used to the ratchet side. So the
Mm-hmm.
ratchet side that they get that's getting presented all the time, unfortunately, it puts the people that are not that way in a bad space. So when we're confronted, whether you're on that side or this side, you're shot. If
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense. You,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying, ladies?
Yeah.
So
But
Why
but here's the
doing
flip
stupid?
side. But here's the flip side of even that. Even that you have your own black people turning on other blacks, and I look at that as
mhm,
still
mhm.
being institutionalized through slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you earlier. What I don't like about the black community sometimes when it comes to supporting our own businesses, you hear people say, well, you know what? That's why I don't buy nothing from black people because they do the most, or they're jacking up the prices, or they're doing this and doing that. Now,
Yeah.
granted, that is true. Some people aren't even business owners. Some people are hobbyists, and I will call you out in a minute. My thing is, if you don't have a business number, if you don't have a social media page, if you do not have a website, more than three things on your website, and it's professionally done, you are a hobbyist. I don't care what you're trying to do. And then on top of that, if it's not registered with the state, if you don't pay your taxes on your business, you are a hobbyist. But on the flip side of that, they'll come to you and say, "Oh, and I've had people do this to me. When's the next time you having a special on your lashes?" In February, because guess what? Even though I might have been thinking about having a sale, I'm not gonna do it now just because you asked me. I don't think that's cool. You don't ask any other business owners when are you gonna have a sale. You really don't.
Yeah,
But
I feel
no,
you.
yeah, and I just
Yeah.
think
I'm a frugal
if
person anyway, so I'm always looking for coupons, a deal,
but
something.
that's different. But you don't
Yeah.
go to the place and say, "Hey." The only time I ask for a discount, and at times, not at time, a lot of times, I just feel really bad even saying it. Is I ask them, do they have a military discount?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't ask people for discounts. If you're a business owner, I do not ask you for no hookup. I don't ask you for no none of that stuff. But I have had my friends that I patronize their business. Okay, I'll give you X amount off. I said no. This is a business. I'm a customer. Don't give me a discount.
Right. Right, right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
want to first of all, before we go into that, because my friend, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Justin Holloway Douglas, down in the DMV, down in DMV. He's the one that designed this awesome shirt. He's a
Hey.
Yes.
business owner. Yeah, awesome guy. So shout out to my Brownite, my NBC brother Justin, who's a phenomenal businessman down there in the Washington D.C. area. We went to Morris Brown together. When I call him and I say, "Hey man, I want a shirt. I need a shirt," or I go to his site, I don't ask for a discount. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I
No.
don't. I mean now, if you're going to give a discount, you give a discount. But when I see the price of
Right.
something, if I want it, I'm just going to buy it. That's just what it is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Um, but it's to help the person grow their business, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something. So we just got to do better in that aspect. We have to do better in that
We do.
aspect as
We do.
opposed to automatically looking for the hookup. Don't get me wrong. Now I appreciate hookups, And I do appreciate discounts, so let's set the record straight now,
Hey,
but
send me a promo
Okay.
any day. Okay,
right,
Right, but I'm not gonna
you know,
ask you
right,
for it.
business owners out there.
right,
Right.
But
I'm
but
not
at the
gonna
same
ask
time,
you for it, but if you want to
no.
give it to me and tell me you did it, okay, yeah.
Right, that's cool. I mean, because I've had people. I've walked in the stores, I remember there was the guy. For example, big shout out. I don't even know the guy's name, but he's at South DeKalb Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. Whenever I go to Atlanta, I always go to South DeKalb Mall because I like to buy the Atlanta hats. So this guy would see me, often whenever I would go to Atlanta, and I would never ask for a discount, but he was like, every time you come here, you buy hats. You'll buy a load of Atlanta hats. So when I went in there the last time I was in Atlanta, he gave me a discount. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you a discount on this. So which I was very appreciative. I didn't ask for a discount, but just the fact that I've gave him X amount of dollars within the several trips that I've taken to that particular store. He said, you know what, it ain't gonna hurt. You're not gonna hurt my pocket or his pocket if I, if I take the discount, So there's nothing wrong with asking for a hookup, and there's nothing wrong with getting a hookup, and there's nothing wrong with getting a discount. So, but it's your presentation and everything. You just can't come off the gate sometimes because that person still got to grow their business. That person still got to allow their business to escalate. So, so yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, Nitra. I completely agree with you 100%.
So getting back to Ahmaud,
hold on, Kahana, real quick. Hold on, real quick. I just want our viewers to know before I forget that we are also on YouTube. And we're also streaming live. So even if you don't log on to this platform, which is Facebook, you can also go to YouTube and log on and see us that way also. And we're still unfiltered, no chaser. But I just wanted to throw that tidbit out that we are also on YouTube. All right. Back to you, Kahana.
No, I was just going to ask you guys, what do you think the likelihood of these two gentlemen actually getting arrested are? Or we're being prosecuted and doing some real time. Like, what do you? Yeah,
I think they might go. I think they might go this time. And the only reason I say I think they might go is because right now, the father cannot post bond at all.
Oh,
it's not like
that's a good indication.
That's good.
It's not like he can't. It's not like he can't get the money to post bond. It's just not being offered on the table.
Oh wow! So he's gonna have a problem. He's gonna do some time.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. I mean, and the thing is, you just can't beat a video. I mean, that video, whoever did the video, they shot that video clear, and there's just no way around that.
I heard that they're supposed to bring him up on charges too.
No way around that.
The guy who shot the video. Yeah, the guy who shot the video.
The guy who shot it.
Yeah, he's not in custody yet, but I believe that he will be.
Yeah. I mean, well, the guy who shot the video, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, the video speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That's like if those guys were able to walk after what we saw and what the world saw in that video, then we're in a very bad space.
Yeah.
Like that was, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this. If I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong. The Trayvon Martin case, was there a video there for the situation with Trayvon Martin?
They had footage from the surveillance cameras.
But it's not as clear as this video.
No. And remember Trayvon Martin, it was dark, it was raining,
it was dark, raining, but they actually saw Zimmerman park his truck, jump out and chase him behind the apartment building.
Right. Yeah. So it's so when you watch this video, you're like, my, it gives you the chills. So there's no way around that.
Yeah.
These guys need to go up under the jail and just sleep up under the jail and just prepare to die in jail. Period.
Yeah.
No way around that.
So let's go ahead and change the subject to a lighter subject.
Yeah.
We want to introduce our first guest on the show.
Did. Okay.
Yes. Can I say
Kahana, I want you to go ahead and interview Miss Tia. Hi,
Tia. Yes. Hey guys, we got somebody special in the building. This is my friend Tia, who is literally called a pit bull.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, Nitra.
Hi, I'm so happy you're here.
So excited. It's just been
Specifically uplifted, supported, and guided children, young adults, and the youth with restarting their life and breaking generational curses. She's also currently the owner and operator of a page entitled Black Women Period, with a T on the end for emphasis. She is committed to the growth. Yes, honey. Committed to the growth and understanding of Black women, the Black community, and the Black men. I'm so happy that you're here today, Tia. I'm so happy for joining us. I am
Thank you guys
so
for having me again.
Absolutely.
And I was just listening to the very heavy conversation, and I'm so happy you guys are talking about that. And again, thank you for letting me segue into this and kind of like add my 2 pieces about everything as a whole in the Black community. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. We definitely need people like you that are, head strong up in our community right now, because we got so many generational curses that we need to break. We got so much healing our community needs right now. And it's just like the healing is just an ongoing movement. It's not stopping. I feel like we don't get a break. So, but I'm gonna turn it over to you, Tia, because I want you to tell us about how you got started with Black Women, period. I want you to tell us about your mission and all the wonderful things you're doing in the community. So
Hold on, Tia. First, we must give praises to that hair.
Oh, yes. Yes, God. Okay. Yes, darling.
That hair is...
Oh, child, this wool on my head is a lot of work. But
Tia, go ahead and tell us about it.
I love it. It takes forever to blow out. It takes forever to braid. It takes forever to wash. But I wouldn't be who I was without this crown. So I really do appreciate it. So
yes.
My crown. I just went natural about 4 years ago. And the funniest thing about that is I was very hesitant to do it because I didn't really have a lot of people around me that had natural hair. And I remember one time, the love of my life, shout out to Jeremiah, he was like, "You're really beautiful, but imagine how much more beautiful you would be if you went natural." And I kind of gave him a side eye, and I was like, "Are you trying to blame me a little bit?" Yeah. And he was like, "I mean, does it make sense to take like other people's hair and put it on your hair?" And I was like, you got a point. So I did the big chop. The man in the barbershop thought that I was having a Britney Spears moment. He actually asked me if I wanted to call someone. He's like, you have a lot of hair on your head. You sure you want to do this, Mom? Like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And I shaved it all off. It was the best feeling in the world. And I just felt like years and years and years of stuff. Yes, I was looking like that for like a whole it was years and years and years of just like non-acceptance, because essentially that's what I think to a small degree what happened to our culture. People forced us to be into a space so we could be accepted because our hair was just very, very frowned upon. It was too nappy, it was too woolly, it was too thick, it was unattractive. And I don't know, but I felt like, oh my God, am I feeling like I'm unattractive because I'm still perming my hair? And not to go down on sisters that have natural hair because, who perm their hair, because I have a lot of friends who perm their hair. So I'm not trying to say like, if you're not natural, then, you're not a sister or, you can't be down for it.
Right.
Somewhere along the line, someone told us we were not beautiful enough with our own hair. Somewhere along the line, it was confused to feel like, okay, in order to be accepted and to move on or move up in the ranks, whether it be professional world, entertainment world, you have to be lighter and you have to be silkier. Someone told us that was more beautiful than the afro, than the naps, than the kinks, than the locks. So I think it's really important to just really know who you are and know who you want to be and to always, claim yourself.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. That's awesome.
I always tell people when they go natural, the big chop, it sounds so frivolous, but it's so
freeing.
Yes, it's freeing and it changes you. It does something to you to be out of your natural comfort zone and to have to be able to look at yourself and accept yourself and not hide behind your hair, not hide behind anything. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Shout out to everybody who went through a big job.
So just recently after that, I was at the time working in Philadelphia and I was working with the youth. And I remember a lot of the youth that we encompassed around or were talking to they had a lot of self-esteem issues, and a lot of them came from broken homes and absentee fathers and, you know, mothers that were incarcerated or not available. And I remember the feeling that I had when I walked back into my program, and they were so shocked. Like, oh, Miss Tia, you cut up all your hair. Oh my God. But immediately after that, they wanted to go natural.
Yeah.
A lot of them stopped perming their hair. And that said a lot to me.
Let me stop you. I have a cosmetologist license. I've been licensed since 97. It's not perm. A perm for our community is a jerry curl. It's a rearranging of the curls. You relax the hair.
Yes. So a lot of them stopped relaxing.
I just say that because we always in our community we say perm, and it's not a perm. It's a relax.
So you guys got to break that down, because I got a wife and a daughter too. So it's good that Tia's giving us this education on perm.
Yeah.
All I know is perm. All I know is perm, jerry curl, braid.
Let me tell you, when I first went to cosmetology school, I was saying perm because that's what we grew up on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I had a 5 foot nothing, probably 75 soaking wet, black teacher. We was in an all white school.
Nice. I know.
She said, it is not a perm. It is a relaxer. We're relaxing the curl. We're taking all the curl pattern out of that hair.
So that's what that is. So
that's what it is. Yes.
So okay. So a relaxer.
A perm in our community is to rearrange the natural curl to give it a looser curl, which made the jerry curl. Mm-hmm. In the white community, a perm is taking that straight hair and making it curly. Because remember, if you was white without naturally curly hair, you wouldn't got a perm, so you look like you had a jerry curl. Remember, the white girls had that jerry curl and that straight bang in the front that they used to say. That's what it is. But
I'm sitting here listening to this. I'm learning something new about it. I mean, as you can see, I don't know nothing about that part, but yeah, it's interesting because even with my daughter, she goes to school with mostly white kids, and naturally at one point there was a question or concern about her hair. Mm-hmm. A question.
Every little girl goes through it.
Every little girl goes through it. So we've had to have that conversation. Thank God for my amazing wife, who has been able to educate her on that. Now they both rocking braids.
Hello.
Yes.
They rocking the braids, both of them, and there's that whole self-esteem. So Tia, just the fact of you stating how, and I'm a mental health clinician as well, stating how your hair can impact your self-esteem. Your hair can impact your thought process and how you move around in life. Yeah. It's a definition. And so I'm so glad that you're breaking it down, because a lot of people don't know and they don't understand how they feel. And it plays a part. Even though you think, what does hair got to do with it? Hair plays a major part in it. Yeah. So Tia, you giving us education. Keep on going, girl. I'm learning something, man. Keep on going, Tia. Because the thing is, I want to say this piece. Tia, you said you were from New Jersey. I'm in New York. So of course, with the weather up here, the hair issue can always be a problem because of the weather. Right. So just hearing what you say and how it impacts, because let's be honest, with Black girls, they will go out and it could be 20 degrees outside, but I do not want to mess my hair up. And so I'm not putting on them gloves. I'm not putting on the scub cap and all that kind of stuff, even though it's 15 degrees outside. So it's so good to hear you speak on how hair is within our community and how it impacts our culture. So kudos to you, Tia. Keep it going, girl. I want to know some more. I want to learn some more.
So after I went back to the program, the kids actually started asking questions, and a lot of them stopped relaxing their hair. And that's when it started to register in my brain, like, wait a second, like if I'm only one person and I made 7 girls stop relaxing their hair. So imagine if we had more women saying, no, somewhere along the line, somebody told you weren't beautiful, and that's actually a lie. Your hair is just as fine the way it is, And it was just a good learning experience for me. And that's when the seed was planted for Black women, period. years after that, I started the page because, again, growing up, we just didn't see, or at least I didn't see, a lot of women on TV that looked like me. They didn't have a wide nose. They didn't have afros or thick hair. My mom started cutting my hair roughly around 12 or 13 because it was just too thick and she couldn't manage it. Shout out to my mom for doing the best she can with my hair.
Hello.
And, I just remember saying to myself, like, what can I do to assimilate, And I went to a predominantly Caucasian high school. Yes, I said Caucasian. And I went to a predominantly Caucasian college. And it was very rare to see women with afros. And the educators didn't look like me either because they were all Caucasian as well. So finding myself and finding who I was took me years. It took years to get on that journey. And I'm now in my 30s and I just went natural. Like I just returned to my natural state. So I think that the importance of that is to remember that, you are enough. You are beautiful in your skin, and your hair and your crown is your strength and your power. There's just so much beauty about Black hair. It's strong. It doesn't quiver. It doesn't fall out. It take care of it.
Versatile. We have some of the most versatile
beautiful hairstyles, And I just said, you know what? I'm going to start putting women that look like me on my page.
Yeah.
And I just kept putting it. And, slowly my audience grew. I had like 10 people on my page, and it's slowly getting up there. And I was just like, I just want the world to see beautiful Black women. And that segued into my business, which is Black Women, period. www.blackwomen, with a T at the end.com.
Hello.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
I think this is
Tia, I just want to say this right here. For you to have changed 7 little girls' lives and had them to cut off their hair or start relaxing their hair, not only did you change their aspect as far as their hair, but I don't know if you realize how much of an impact you are and how much they look up to you. For them to even do that, we talked in the show a couple of weeks ago about a child will pretty much call anybody daddy, but it takes certain people for that child to call another woman mommy. So I say that to say is you're on that respect level with those girls, and they will forever remember when they start relaxing their hair and why they start relaxing their hair. So I totally commend you for that, for having such an impact on them.
And I think the other thing too is like, we don't think about it as like something large or something to be like, revered, but it is, because like I said, somewhere on the line, their mentors weren't around, the teachers weren't around, maybe the parents weren't around, the community wasn't around. And sometimes it just takes one person to say, no, you are enough. You're fine the way that you are. You don't have to burn your scalp. You don't have to cut open your pores just to get a creamy look, But like I said, I think it's important for us to remind the youth that in order for us to walk in strength and walk in our light, we have to be accepting of who we are.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny because, when I hear stories about people who go natural and they, they have this hair epiphany, I call it, this hair epiphany, and they realize that they're going to change their hair. It used to segue into so many different areas of their life. And I don't know if anybody is really connecting the dots, because a lot of times people will go natural and then they start reading ingredients. Like they want to know what's in this product. What am I putting on my skin? What am I putting on my hair? What am I putting in my body? Now I'm eating organic food. Now I'm going vegan. Now I'm realizing that, the relationship that I seen between my parents, of them arguing or fussing or whatever that toxicity was in that situation, that's not normal. I don't have to speak this way. I don't have to behave this way. And, it's funny because you look on television and there aren't women who look like us. You can look on any VH1 show,
not on the
Love
major
Hip Hop,
networks.
Housewives of Atlanta. You don't see nobody that's rocking their natural hair. You do not. It's constantly this perpetuation in the media about Black women that you have to you rocking weaves down to your buttocks, or you on a pole, or you doing whatever it is that you're doing. They only have this. The media only has this one-sided view that they want to portray about us. When the
Yes.
fact of the matter is that we come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and taste, and creams, and everything. We are all different. There's nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm just so proud of you and so happy. And I was going to share this story to you guys because I have been following Black women, period. Right? I did not know that Tia, that was her age. So I have a 15-year-old son who's on Instagram, that I have his Instagram page on my phone as well, so I can be monitoring the conversations and all of this stuff. So sometimes, I hope he's not listening to this, but sometimes I go and I look at his friends list and I'd be like, nope, you out of there, you out of there. I was like, oh, let me add this one page that I know. I do this, y'all. Let me add this one page, Black women, period, because I know my son's always talking about, well, the girls that I see out in the street, Ma, they don't look like you, or they don't look like Auntie so-and-so, they look something different. So I make sure on his Instagram page that he sees feeds of beautiful Black women in their most, in their essence, you know what I mean? Not with all the tricks and all the makeup and all of that.
Right,
I think that's so important, especially for young Black men, because if not, they are going to, because I mean, it's no secret. You hear it all the time. A lot of Black men, they do not like Black women. They don't want us. They don't.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
So let me just say this.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
Right?
so I hear both sides of it. I hear they don't want us. Why? Because everything they see of us on TV, and a lot of times within their own family, because of course what the younger girls are seeing on TV, they're acting it out with the emulating stuff.
Right.
That's why my son would not date any girl from his high school. He said they all are ratchet, and the ones that's not ratchet, they too much of a nerd, and he just didn't want to deal with none of it. And so, but on the flip side of that, I see and hear a lot of men saying, and I'm gonna just be for experience. I had two guys to tell me, why you wear all that makeup on?
Oh,
and they said, oh, I like the makeup, but I think you'd be more beautiful if you didn't wear any. Ooh. My defense, and Kahana knows, ever since Kahana has known me, I've worn nothing but makeup because I had hyperpigmentation in my face, and I did not like it. So it was not because I was trying to wear makeup. It was because I was hiding the hyperpigmentation. I currently stopped wearing makeup this year. I haven't worn makeup since January 1st, and it probably December 31st. And I haven't worn makeup since then. However, I had to take my official photo the other day, and I put makeup on. And let me tell you, I was like, how in the hell did I do this every single morning and be at work by 6 o'clock in the morning? This is me being active duty as well as a civilian. And it's not like I went to work glammed up, but just presentable. But going back to the hair, I know plenty of men, to include my brother and my son, they don't like the weaves. All they want is natural hair, and if you look cute enough, lock your hair. This is my second set of locks.
Okay.
I combed them out. Had I left the first set of locks in, they would probably been past my butt by now. But I know a lot of men, professional and street guys, and I live in the DC area. They don't want that weaving stuff. They want you as natural and as organic,
especially in the DMV area.
Really,
especially in the
and it's so funny. Yeah, like you said, but if you think about it, Washington DC, Atlanta, those are like the hair capitals. You know what I mean? That's like the extreme hair capitals. That's where you see a lot of stuff. Without living here in New York, you go to Harlem, you can see the different type of hairstyles from the Black women. You go to Brooklyn, certain parts of Brooklyn, you can see the different Black styles of the Black women. Just to give you guys an example, first of all, before we can go farther, Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you lovely mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Many blessings to you all. Even if you didn't physically give birth to a child and you're playing the role of a mother, Happy Mother's Day to you too. So I had to get that off my chest. So anyway, back to what I was saying is, I'm gonna give you an example. My mother takes pride. My mother lives in Columbus, Georgia. My mother wears makeup. She will go to the mailbox to get the go to the mailbox to and have makeup on her face, right? But my grandmother, rest in peace, she didn't wear no makeup. My wife, she doesn't normally wear makeup like that unless we're just going out, but not by far a person that wears makeup on a daily basis. But it all depends on how you feel. I think personally how you feel within yourself. I think beauty is beauty, because let me tell you something. You can wear all the makeup in the world, but if your conversation is whack,
Facts.
or don't want nothing to do with you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a guy. I'm a 100% man. You see a beautiful girl and she's stacked up and she got all this weave in her hair and she look good or whatever. But then you go have that conversation with her and she sound like she can't even count to 3. You right.
Not 3.
Same thing. Yeah, because it's bad. We all done been to the club.
I just want to interject for like a quick second. I just want to interject for a quick second. So, like, I'm always like, obviously, I love natural hair and I'm natural, but I wear makeup, I wear weaves, I my hair up, the twist.
Beauty
I wear
braids.
Beauty is beauty, and not to take away
beauty.
or braids or wigs or whatever the case may be. I think the deeper question or the deeper conversation should be, why do we wear them? And sometimes it is just because we want to wear them, and I like to change my hair often. I don't like this thing. So, like, once this place goes back to normalcy after COVID or Rona done disappeared, because now she's messing everybody up, right?
Right.
17 different hairstyles. I don't keep hairstyle. I think the deeper question and conversation is somewhere along the line, somebody told us we weren't enough. And I said to us, our hair wasn't, powerful just the way it was. And we just started leaving up, because we saw sisters in the 70s.
That's right.
Totally different.
Yes. That's right.
That was the style back in the day.
A strong semblance of, no, we like our hair the way we are. We're not taking these kinks out,
Right.
Right. We saw the decimation. And then we saw the decimation of the Black family in the 80s. And when that happened, people just lost a sense of who we were, and I'm like really intrigued about like Black history, obviously the lineage and, the transatlantic slave trade, like all of that, especially being an Afro-Caribbean woman and being the first, island to receive and be independent and start that domino effect. Our brain set and our mindset is to always love ourselves, to be ourselves, and to be proud. Haitians are just very proud people. So I think that the issue is, where did the shame come from? Where did the sadness of where we are came from? And of course, slavery.
Not just slavery, it comes from the media, the images, the content that pushed on us. And just to add to what Tia was saying too, there's nothing wrong with wearing your hair in weaves, in wigs, in braids, and whatever. Nowadays, hair and makeup is an accessory for a lot of women.
It enhances your beauty.
And if you are a busy woman on the go, you got a career, you got a family, a lot of times you don't have a lot of times. And a lot of, I like to wear my hair straight, but I can't wear my hair straight. Last time I wore my hair straight, it broke off and I end up at Supercuts with the clippers, boo. Yes. And so, and I had to crying. I had a whole nervous breakdown of my hair. I completely traumatized my husband. Girl, I completely traumatized Tyrone. You know what I mean? And it was basically because it was something that wasn't planned. But my point is that, when I hear Black men shaming women for wearing a wig or a weave or whatever, you don't know the reason that woman is wearing that wig. She can have alopecia. She can have bald spots. She could be protective styling. She could have conditioner in her hair. Okay, you have no idea why that wig is on top of that head, girl.
But here's the flip side of that for all the Black men that said they don't like women wearing weaves, right? But they go and date white girls.
But you know why? That's why
hold on. The thing about that is guess what? They're doing the same thing. They're getting weaves also. They're not braiding it in, but they're getting it glued in. And I'm not talking about the glue like what we would use, but I'm saying they got micro clamps that they clamp the hair in. All of that is not their hair either. You think the Kardashians walking around with all of their hair all the time? Absolutely not. I mean, they're not white, they're Armenian, but still. They're not walking around. You think Celine Dion, every time she performs, she's wearing her hair? Absolutely not.
Right.
So to bash a woman of any stature, because they wear their hair in a particular way, well, what's wrong with you within yourself that you got to break
that goes
somebody
to a
else
whole
down?
nother level. That goes
That's
to
a whole other level.
Yeah,
that's a whole other level.
I think the difference between white women and black women is that the majority of white women on a day-to-day basis is not wearing weave. They're not wearing weave unless they got cancer or they're on television or they're in media. Really? Because I've never met a white woman who wear a weave. I was seeing on Instagram now.
Yeah, I've never seen a white girl with a weave. I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen a white girl
on
with a weave.
television.
Probably because I've been in the hair industry, but yeah, they do wear it. They do wear it. And guess what? Their weaves are more expensive. Their weaves are more expensive than ours.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Wow.
$1,500.
All that hair you see the Kardashians wearing, that's not their hair. That's not all their hair.
Well, see, yeah, but I'm not talking about the Kardashians. I'm talking about Ashley and Human Resources.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you. In DC right now, for a white girl to get microlinks in her hair, it can start from a stack, which is $1,000, and it can go up to $2,000.
Wow.
They're wearing it. They ain't telling you they're wearing it, but they're wearing it. And it could be Becky sitting in the HR. She done saved her little money up to get that weave installed.
And it's crazy because I
wore her weave and it was falling out of her head in the office. Nobody wanted to tell her. I just felt so bad for the girl.
Was this a white girl this happened to?
Girl, all her weave was falling out at work.
So, a white girl weave was falling out at work.
Yes.
Wow.
It was on her book bag, and nobody had the courage to say, I'm not gonna say her name, but it started with a J, like, hey, your weave's on your book bag. You might want to pick it up.
Karen, your hair is on the book bag. Karen.
Wow.
But they do wear it. I just want to say they do wear it. It's just not, taken into a lot of consideration because that's like our thing. Like Black women always have weave, but they do wear it. They definitely do.
Let me ask this. So this is a question that's directed to EJ. I've always had it in my mind that, Black men were the ones that date white women. They do so. And I think hair has a big part of it.
Yeah.
Is that why they can go to sleep without tying it up?
Mm-hmm.
I think they just like to this.
I mean, you have some people that they have their preference. I think it just goes down to their preference. I've been told that some, and I got to be careful with my words with this. Some guys.
Excuse me, sir. What's the title of our
Unfiltered No Chaser.
Therefore, carry on.
There are some guys that feel like if they dated black guys, if they dated a white woman after they've reached a certain level of success, it completes their statue. I've read that in a book.
I've heard that.
It completes their statue, so to whatever. I have family members who have married outside of their race, and at this stage in the game, for me, I just you want to see both of them happy on both sides. The cousin, he's the African American male. He married a white woman, but the white woman is from Jersey, and she. Yeah, she about that life. She's cool.
Well, I can just be honest. I thought I was going to have a... Okay, go on.
Hold on. So it goes... So for me as a guy, it's all about your happiness. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock the guy for picking whatever girl that he pick. But unfortunately, it's been stereotyped in and amongst the African-American community. It looks like the guy's kind of selling out, or he's not doing right with his sisters, or because he's forgetting his ancestors who was African American. And you marry a white woman, it just doesn't look right as appearing to be complete. I'm not saying it's complete, but I'm just saying that that's the way it looks. That's the way it appears. That's what's been the stereotype. So to each his own, to each his own. Me personally, I'm all about happiness. My wife, she's African American. I love her,
Shout out to Sabrina.
Shout out to Sabrina. But yeah.
But honestly, me personally, I thought I was gonna have a rainbow coalition over here because when I was in high school, contrary to what Erskine said, the black boys didn't like me.
No, you about to start something else, Nietzsche. The black boys did like you. She just didn't give them no airplay.
I believe that.
That's what it was.
No.
But you know what? But let me explain something. I want to say this
rainbow.
part. I want to say this part. You know, for me, you know, I went to, you know, I grew up in the South. I grew up in Georgia, Columbus, Georgia. I went to college in Atlanta. I went to Morris Brown College representing. Now let me explain something. So I'm around black women, all shapes, colors, size, fashion, you name it. However, when I moved to New York City in 1999 and I started going to Columbia, it was a whole different ballgame. So you go from seeing, you know, thousands and thousands of black women to hardly seeing one or two, you know. So you see the Dominicans, you see the Puerto Ricans, so you do see the long hair, you do see all this, and just like anybody else, I'm like, oh my God, she's beautiful. J-Lo, she's beautiful. And I was Rosie Perez. I met Rosie Perez, and I was like, and all I could hear in my voice with Rosie Perez when I met her was Mookie. Oh no, the Mookie.
Right.
You know, I'm being honest. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her. Mookie, you know. So I'm attracted to. I was going with that, but at the end of the day, it still boils down to your happiness. You know, it still boils down to your happiness. Now, I've watched that Ayala show. What's the name? Ayala, I guess that's Oprah's friend.
Ayana Van
Ayala.
girl.
There was some brothers on there that said, I ain't dating no black woman.
That's
I don't want nothing to do with no black women.
Yeah.
Because they angry, they aggressive, and they always damn mad. You know? But when I watched that episode, and if anybody Googles it, it goes back to their mothers not being happy.
How they treated them.
It was how they treated them, how they felt the environment that they grew up in. So if you grew up in a certain type of environment and you go to this type of environment, or now you're in this area, this type of environment, it's almost like, and so you find yourself getting mad at that. So yeah, it's amazing. It's so many dynamics to look at that. You know, if you go, like I said, I went to Morris Brown College in Atlanta, and just living in the Atlanta area, it was like, ooh, black, sisters. But like I said, when I came to New York, which is the melting pot, I saw J-Lo. I saw Rosie Perez. And so because I saw more of that, it was easy to be attracted to more of that at that time. You know, so if that makes any sense. So yeah.
So what we're talking about now is colorism, right? To a certain degree.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of stories about that. Shout out to my friend Lee and to Laura and to Isabel. Those are all the people that I talk about this with frequently. And I actually have a friend who grew up in Brownsville. And he said, and for all of you who don't know much about Brooklyn, Brownsville is one of the worst areas in Brooklyn to grow up in. It's it's littered with violence. The education rate is about less than 15%. The reading rate, rather, is less than 15% in Brownsville, in the Brownsville area. And I remember that he told me that his brothers were valedictorians of their classes. And because they were darker, not so attractive black men, they were constantly berated with, you know, African booty scratcher, your black ass, you ugly as hell. I would never date you. You disgust me. These men are now millionaires, and all of them have white wives. And they said that they felt so terrible to be around black people that now they wish for their kids not to have that sorrow. And that was just because of growing up in the brown community like that. And every last one of his brothers have white wives, or a Hispanic wife. And they just refuse. They talk so poorly about black women. And I remember we had a very long conversation about that. And I asked him his opinion. I said, well, you know, how do you feel about that? He says, you know, it makes me sad because it's not their fault, but it is their fault because they didn't figure out how to overcome that. And I think that's the biggest issue about colorism. It wasn't given to us. It was embedded in us. We didn't make up colorism. We didn't say one day we woke up and said, I hate being this dark. Somebody told us that this dark was ugly, and then it just repeated and manifested in such a way that it's like a 100-headed dinosaur. We just cannot slay it. And let's be honest, the people on TV are light skinned. The women on TV are light skinned. You know, the people that are of power are usually more fair and light skinned. People that are more mean, that narrative is changing now. You know, you got your not Boris. I'm so sorry. I love Boris so much. That band's always on my mind. Child, he's so funny.
He is.
What's the other dark skinned guy that everybody likes now? Idris. So we have the Idris Elbas now, and we have the I don't know who else
guy
is dark
from Queen
skinned.
Sugar.
I was just
right. Yes. What is his name?
I want to say something.
His name is Delicious.
He is so fine. Is that man? I just think he's so beautiful.
But I want to tell you guys something about that. I want to say something about that. Now, when I was in high school, you know, naturally back then, and we're talking in the 90s, the Christopher William guys and the Al B. Sure guys were the ones that were getting the airplay. So I want to kind of piggyback on what Tia was saying with your friends. I didn't get the kind of airplay like the light-skinned guys were getting in high school. Nietzsche was right there with me. You know, she was right there with me in high school. However, you was right there with me. You was right there with me.
Must we go down memory lane?
We're going down memory lane.
We got enough time.
So I'm gonna tell you guys something. So in high school, of course, you know, you're dark-skinned, and I kind of want to piggyback on what Tia was saying with her friends from Brooklyn. You know, the dark-skinned guys, we really wasn't popping like that back then. You know what I mean? We wasn't. You know that I didn't say we didn't get no airplay, but it was the chances of us getting the girls, it wasn't happening. Right. However, there was a time change. Morris Chestnut saved us. Tay Diggs saved us. And I'm just talking about the Morris Chestnut. Tyrese
was another one.
When my hair started to leave me and stuff like that, I was like, oh my God, Tyrese saved us. You know what I mean? Yeah, Tyrese saved us. Even Aaron Hall, you can say what even Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall, you know, and the bald head R. Kelly. You know, I can't speak to what's going on with R. Kelly now, but the bald head R. Kelly, he saved us too.
Okay, wait a minute. So, Tia was like, I want no parts of R. Kelly.
Okay.
I don't say that man's name. I don't say his name.
Okay, let's just say Robert.
Well, we're just gonna say Robert. Okay,
we're gonna say Robert.
Stay over there.
However, we started to change. You know, the diversity started to change. And once the diversity started to change, I had a friend of mine, and he's not on tonight. He told me, he said, Erskine, I won't be surprised if you marry a light-skinned woman. I wouldn't be surprised because you're dark-skinned, so you're going to always like light-skinned women. Mm-hmm. Now, I did have a light-skinned girlfriend. I did, you know, but...
How many did you have, Erskine?
I'm going to be honest. One. I'm gonna be honest. One, straight up.
We're gonna go with that number.
We're gonna go with that number.
On his business.
Hold on. She look at how she about to get me in trouble all online. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. That's all.
No, I know. I'm just with you. But yeah, I had one light-skinned girlfriend. All the girls that I've dated were all brown, dark skin, brown. It was never a preference. Now I do got one friend, and I'm gonna be honest, and I don't know if he's watching. He don't date nothing but light skin. African American, nothing but light skin.
Do you think that's a form of self-hate?
I think so. Under the table, yeah, I think so. I really think so because this particular friend, and I love him dearly, he will date a light skinned woman, and he doesn't care. She's light skinned. I'm going for it.
Nothing else matters.
That is great.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, and I've always.
It's not hard to believe, though.
Yeah,
it's not
hard to believe. Yeah, I've never personally. Yeah, like Kayla Nay, like he would date girls your complexion. That's it. Lenitra, no.
You know what?
Tia, you straddling the fence.
Okay, that's all right.
But that's his thing. But me personally, you know, beauty is beauty. You know, if you light skinned and you bad, and you brown and you bad, and if you dark skinned and you bad, you cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the Janet Jacksons that I'm crazy about, but guess what? I've seen Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, who I'm crazy about. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends.
It's all about the mentality. It's all about the mentality. Yeah. And so unfortunately, a lot of people, they can't get past what they see on the surface. You know? I remember when I was dating, I left a man in a bar because he looked at me and was like, oh, you know, I usually only date exotic women. But he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Girl. Get punched in the throat.
And I got my food to go, and I walked out of there.
He didn't understand how exotic you were.
Girl, he had no idea. He missed out on that one.
Yes,
But
he
you
sure
know,
did.
That is
he,
crazy
you know,
that he would even say something like that up out of his mouth to feel
Yeah.
comfortable
to feel
enough.
comfortable.
But
Yes,
that's
Yeah.
enough to
but
say
that goes
that.
back to what Tia was saying. Kayla did. I'm not sure which one you said it, but that's self-hate. There's
It
something
is
that
self
comes with that.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's something that comes with
Absolutely.
that.
So therefore, you're going to project your self hate onto me
To
when
me.
I've done
Absolutely.
Yeah.
nothing to you wrong.
Absolutely.
And it don't
Absolutely. It
matter.
happens.
That is
You know,
just
It
right.
happens.
crazy.
What's wrong with
It
it?
happens.
So then
Yeah.
my question is, who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
Who,
And
who
But you
just
know
hurt
what?
you?
and just I'm
For
just
that
real quick.
particular guy, for that particular guy, who knows? It could have been his mother.
Yeah.
He could have came from an interracial situation with his parents.
Mhm.
Who knows? The list goes on, you know.
Yeah,
But
And I
yeah,
yeah.
it's something for a guy to walk up and say, you know what? I'm not going to mess with you because of your color.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian, I just want to piggyback real quick, not to because I know these are very heavy topics, and it's very easy to like get into a stream of like downward spiral.
Yeah.
But the men that I know love the Black woman. They
Facts.
savor the Black woman. They uplift the Black woman. They don't want to date anybody outside of the Black woman.
Facts.
So I think our generation is changing that narrative. I think
Yeah.
the children now are understanding our strength and our power. And I think that we are the generation that kind of is doing the healing, and the kids behind us are like, no, we're bad, like we bad, you know, because
Right.
a lot of the Generation Z that I'm seeing now, they're not doing the whole like I want to be permed and with a weave. I see more women and more men now cultivating that natural, holistic kind of thing that we used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all of the Black Twitter I follow, oh no, honey, they Black power and they're afroing it out,
Right,
and
right, right.
That's right.
they're dreading it out. So
Yeah.
I do think the narrative is changing, and I think our generation, the millennials, are starting to say, hold up. Nah, whatever you told me, that's not right. I know it's not right.
Right.
You're doing everything in your possibility to kill me, to
Right.
take away my job, to stop me from getting a business,
Facts.
from telling me my skin is ugly. You plumping that stuff in your lips, you putting ass straps in your butt.
Facts.
Clearly, you're obsessed with
Wanna
us.
look like
You
us.
just don't
Yes.
know you're obsessed with us.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
subconscious. It's subconsciously. It's subconsciously.
Right.
And it's I mean, like, I find that kind of sick though. I mean, because you spend all these years telling people, oh, you know, your butt's too big, your lips too big, your hair too nappy, but at the same time,
Vulture.
on the low, yeah, you trying to get on that level.
Mhm.
So check this out. It's funny that we're talking about that because, of course, I work on a Navy base, and I was in my skipper, the base commander's admin's office, and there was another a Navy female that came in, and somehow her and the admin started speaking about another sailor,
Mm.
and the Navy girl, who was a white girl, she was an older white girl. I think she might have been in her late 40s or whatever. She made the statement, "Oh, did you see Robinson today?" And so the admin was like, "No, I didn't see it." She said, "I don't know. I think she got butt implants done." So I'm standing there and I'm trying to see how far this conversation is going to go. And so she says, she looks a mess. She looks a mess. She really looks a mess. She was this cute little petite sized girl that didn't have a lot of boobs. And I think she got her boobs done too. And she got butt implants. They're saying she took fat out of her stomach and stuck it in her butt. And I just think she looks crazy. And I said, hold on. I said, stop tearing that woman down because of what she decided to do to her own body. If she felt like that she wanted to take fat out of her stomach or anywhere on her body and stick it in her butt, the realistic part of that is her butt ain't fake because she doesn't have implants in. I said, so stop tearing her down. I said, see, you an old school white girl. And I told her just like that, you're old school white girls. These new white girls trying to look like me. That's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to look like you. You don't have no ass. Ain't nobody checking for you. They trying to get somebody to check for them. Matter of fact, they trying to get my son to check for them. You know, the new school white girls, they want some curves to them. Stop tearing her down because you don't agree with it. Well, I just don't think that it looks right. It ain't for you to think that she look right.
Yeah.
If she's happy about herself, that is her prerogative. There are things I'm pretty sure that you don't like within yourself that you may or may not be taking care of. Don't do that. So
Yeah,
And again, that goes back. Go ahead, Con.
no, I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna say, speaking as a representative of the light skin community,
Like this.
my complexion sometimes it ain't light enough for some of them. You know what I mean? Back in the day, so I don't want to have this image perpetuated that 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 sometimes we enough, because sometimes that ain't even enough. They got to go find something lighter than that. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's all about the mentality, though. I think it's all about the mentality. People need to start recognizing and healing themselves, and understanding that there were certain ideals that were implanted in us, and we've been passing them around and carrying them around for generation after generation. I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember growing up and hearing that phrase, no darker than a paper bag. Don't bring nobody home darker than a paper bag. And it was a lot of men, that was accepted. That was accepted behavior. You know what I mean? I remember I'm not going to say no names, but I remember when I told my family I was getting married. And so I had somebody in my family come and say, I hope for your wedding, you are going to get your hair straightened and you're not going to wear it all poofy.
Natural. Right.
And so, the funny thing about that is, because I wasn't intending on wearing my hair natural. It was natural, but I was planning on getting it straightened. But I always looked back on that and felt some type of way. Like, why do you think that in your mind, but at the same time, you got to be respectful of your elders. You got to be respectful to your family, and you don't want to just pop off. But at the same time, I'd be feeling like, did I miss a moment of education where I could have educated my elder and be like, listen, this is not what it is. It's 2020. If I want to wear my hair in a big ass afro on my wedding day, in a tutu, I can do whatever I want to do, and that doesn't have any slight on me or my beauty or the image that I'm trying to convey. So
my mom did the same thing to me. She of course, this is my second set of locks. My mom has white hair. Okay, so if you saw my mom, you would think that she was Black and Asian. That's just how she looks, and she has that nice silky straight wavy hair texture, but she doesn't like my hair locks. So she we was FaceTiming the other day, and normally when she sees me, my hair is tied up in some type of scarf or whatever. And so she asked me the other day, she said, "Oh, what you got going on with your hair?" And I said, I said, it's locked. Remember, I locked my hair. She says, she says, I don't like your hair like that. I never have liked you wearing your hair like that. Wow. I just don't think it's professional. You work for the base commander. You shouldn't wear your hair like that. And I said, well, Mom, I said, I love you. She said, I love you too. I said, and I don't appreciate, but I thank you for your unsolicited advice. I'm going to wear my hair the way I want to wear it. I said, let's not forget, there's stories of you trying to have an afro and you couldn't do it. So,
you did
I did. And so I said, thank you, but I love you, lady. And she was like, get off my phone, Nitra.
Right.
But sometimes
you know what? But
you have to say it sweetly to your elders about things that they don't quite understand, because again, we have to think about it. They're in the mindset. It's not professional. It's not professional to wear locks. It's not.
And who told you that your hair was unprofessional the way it grows out your head?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys something, and that goes for men too. That goes for the men with the locks and the beards and all that kind of stuff. There was a period in time that if you worked on Wall Street, you had to shave. You had to shave.
Yes.
You had to shave your beard off, right? There was a time frame where you had to do that.
Yes, I remember hearing that.
Right. For the New York Yankees, there was you have to shave your beard. If you notice, the New York Yankee, the baseball players, they all have to have a clean shave.
Wow.
Whereas in others, So in my line of work, which is similar to Tia, I'm a mental health clinician here in New York. I've always wore a beard. Every blue moon, I would shave it off and just have the goatee. However, they kind of want that edgy look, because when you're going for mental health therapy, when you're going for therapy, or you're going to see somebody for mental health treatment, you want to feel like you can relate. You don't want to look like you're so far here and they're so far there, and there's no kind of relation. In this line of work, and Tia, you're dealing with this firsthand. as a mental health clinician and being African American, your appearance is everything when you're dealing with us. You know, when you're dealing with us, when you walk in the building, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say this on air,
That's right.
I've made a bulk of my money based on my skin color. You know what I mean? I've had parents come in and they take one look and say, him, the black guy. I used to work at a clinic in the Bronx, and I worked there from 2002 up until 2009 until they went out of business. They laid all the therapists off. So anyway, one of the clinicians that was there ended up resigning. So I had my caseload. I was seeing teenagers, mostly working with kids that were arrested and had legal situations, or they were mandated for therapy. So one of the therapists left. So when that therapist left, they had to assign all that therapist's cases to another clinician. So the director pulls me in the office and she says, "Mr. Alexander, all these people want to work with you." And I'm like, "Who are these people?" I've had people now say, "I just need a black man. I need to work with a black." Yeah, straight up. I have one patient right now, and the mother made it so clear that if he's not a black man, I don't want it. You know, so
right, just to piggyback on that,
so
go ahead.
right. So just the fact that she saw me, or they see appearance is everything. If I'm going through a situation and I need to talk to a clinician or talk, and like I said, this is all based on the line of work that you're in. Because in Wall Street, it might go totally left. You walk into Wall Street, you go down to Wall Street with long dress, they might not accept that. I don't know. But I know for our line of work, when you're dealing with people, just your color, the beard, just the whole look that defines us, or that kind of puts us in a separate category, you're on a winning plateau. And that's what I've experienced with. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah.
But I was just going to say that the reason why, we look for people that look like us, because nobody understands our trauma like Black people. Nobody understands our complications like Black people. Nobody understands our deep-rooted pain like a Black person. So when we're looking, if you ever wonder, when we go into spaces, we look for the Black person in the room. There's a reason for that.
Where my people are relatable.
Right? You look for the sister in the break room. There's a reason for that, because we are the only people that can understand what is happening with our psyche, with our traumas, our families, and what else can transpire within our space. And it's very hard to be relatable to people who just don't understand why I can be jogging in the middle of a day trying to get healthy, and I'm only 25, and now I'm dead, and my birthday was yesterday. No one else understands that but us,
Right. Yeah. I want to piggyback on that, T. Like you said, this kid is jogging. You know why? Because he wants to stay healthy. You know why? Because diabetes, high blood pressure plagues what community? It plagues the African American community. So this young man is just, so these are struggles that we deal with out the gate. I was 25. I was 25 years old, and I went to a doctor. And he said, "All right, Erskine, you're gonna have to slow down on the eating, because I'm living in New York City nightlife. I'm having a good time with my wife. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time, and we're having a good time. So you go to a doctor, you done ate too much good old food, and he says, listen, man, you need to slow down, because you're going to be diagnosed, or you're going to have high blood pressure, you're going to have diabetes, and all the things that plague the African community. So here you go, like you said, Tia, this guy is jogging to stay in shape, because he knows that we from the South, being from the South, we cook good, our food is rich. Let me exercise. So now for us, people run through Central Park all the time. It ain't no problem. White people run through Central Park. But now Black folk, we run around the neighborhood. We got to worry about getting shot at.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So so there's certain struggles that we have that some people just don't understand in other cultures. Period.
Right.
Right.
So Tia, we just want to thank you so much for coming to
Thank you,
our
guys.
baby.
Yes.
We really appreciate the conversation with you.
Yeah.
It was very enlightening and informative. As you can see, we talk a lot about everything.
Yes.
And I just want people, everybody, to follow Tia on Instagram and on Facebook at Black Women period with a T on the end. And again, thank you, Tia, so much for coming out and chatting with us today. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.
So much. And thank you, Kahana, for having me. Thank you, EJ, for expanding with me. Nitra, thank you for, I will be looking for you to do my hair once COVID is over. Okay? I need help. Help me. So one more thing, guys, before I leave, I just want to say that I read something really important the other day, and I think I should share it on air. And it said,
yes, do the gym of the day.
Yes, I have to.
She's going to do the gym of the day.
Yes, go ahead.
This hit my soul in a different way. It said, when we heal ourselves, we heal 7 generations behind us and 7 generations.
That part.
And I promise you, I will never.
It's a good jewel.
And I really strongly believe in that. And we need to we need to continue to do the work and to love ourselves just the way that we are.
That part.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Love you so much.
Oh, that was really good talking to Tia.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that conversation with her.
Absolutely. I think it's something that we definitely we need to have these ongoing conversations with our community.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we really do.
Really
so that was a really good conversation. So for our audience, tell us, let's talk. It's chit chat time. Because at 7:00 we getting off. We're going to the live concert of Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
That's tonight. So I will just tell you this: they didn't give us the plug to give to you all, but we will plug it for you, since all 3 of us adore and love both artists. That they will be on Instagram. You have to follow both of their pages in order to be there and
view it.
And to view it. Okay. Okay. So what are some of the issues that my question is that some of our viewers have as far as their appearance and their work, their industry that they're in? I know Erskine said, Wall Street, you're looking for that knife shaven white guy, ideally. If a black guy with very needed locks came in, that they would probably turn their face up, because I don't know if some of y'all know, but when Kahana and I met about 10 years ago, Kahana, and I used to call her this in the office, I used to call her Lisa Bonet, because her locks was past her butt. And they was just like Lisa Bonet's locks. And I used to look at her and like, oh my God, her hair is so beautiful. And
it's funny because Lisa Bonet was the reason I locked up.
Yeah, but she changed the game though. She
did.
She was the first one. We all. Speaking of Erykah Badu is probably one of the first women that I remember that was so. Right, she did. She had locks, but like you said,
a lot of people don't know that she used to have locks.
She did, but like Kayla said, Lisa Bonet started that trend, and that's what I did. She's the first. Now that I think about it, when I go back down memory lane, she was the one that did it first.
Yeah, she
was.
And
then Erykah Badu came along and did it. But then
Erykah Badu.
Maybe Erykah Badu was starting it when they introduced.
No, she had them before. Well, she had them before she hit the scene, because she wore them up in her.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
her scarf all the time, her head covering. So she already had them.
She made covering your hair very popular again.
Now that's
she did it for religious purposes. Spiritual purposes, not religious. She did it for spiritual purposes, but she made that very popular back in the 90s. But it's funny that you talk about Wall Street.
Not only her. Don't forget Lauryn Hill.
Oh yeah,
Lauryn Hill. Her locks
years after, right?
Yes. Lauryn came out before. Lauryn was out doing stuff before. She was part of the Fugees before Erykah Badu came out.
Who came first, Erykah Badu or the Fugees? Can somebody, one of our viewers,
somebody
get on Google please and find out? But what I was going to say is that, thinking about Wall Street and how, EJ talks about how they had to have clean faces and shaves, and how some people don't feel like natural hair is professional. even when I had my locks, I never felt my hair was unprofessional. I never got any flack from it in corporate America. I probably got some looks, but I think I get more looks when I wrap
Than
my hair,
anything.
when I wrap my hair and wear that to work versus me just wearing my hair out. But I will say this though, is that
That is true.
when I was 15, I worked at McDonald's. And I worked at McDonald's for, my mother's watching this and she can back me up. I think I worked at McDonald's for about a year and a half. And I had got employee of the month, everything, y'all. And then I went to see Poetic Justice, and I came to work with the big dookie braids, and I got fired. They fired my ass after
What? Are you serious?
They did. They wanted me to take my braids out. I told them I was not taking my braids out. And, just me as a
No.
teenager.
So let's back up. Was it because you had braids, or they felt because you was in the food industry? Because I know the food industry, you can't have all of that.
So that's what they were trying to make it seem like my hair, like, but I had dookie braids. It wasn't no strands of hair falling up out of them mugs. Like,
But it was, but what I'm saying is still whether or not I know what they look like, but food industry is really strict when it comes to food.
Even still, what the appropriate action would have been, they should have asked me to put a hairnet on or cover my hair. And I think I had a hairnet on. I think I had a hairnet on. But even still, the lady specifically asked me to take my braids out. And I told her, no, I was not taking my braids out. And I got fired. But, the only time I've ever had issues with my hair is me as a teenager. Because when I was in high school.
Food juice was first, like I said, score for nature.
Okay. So I hope somebody put some dates in the comments. Listen,
Mookie is actually on our YouTube channel watching us.
Oh gosh, shout out to YouTube. I didn't even know we had anybody watching us on YouTube.
We got 2 people watching us. Actually.
Listen though, y'all. So I remember when I graduated from high school, right? I had graduated early. So I had, by January or February, I was done with all my classes. They wanted me to come back in June to walk across the stage. And I was going to walk across the stage. My mother was very adamant, you go get your cap and gown, you can walk across the stage. I want to see you walk across the stage. But at the time, I was very involved in Nation of Gods and Earth. So y'all don't know what Nation of Gods and Earth is, 5% Nation. And I did not show my hair. My hair was like this my whole high school career. I had my hair covered. And so the school would not allow me to walk across the stage with my head wrap on.
94 and mid-90s is the same thing, Jay.
And so I did not walk across the stage. That's my whole point.
Wow. But that goes to show you.
But you know what? Hold on. Let me just say this real quick. I went to work one day with my niece Ashanti was murdered, right? And I was in mourning for that. I walked across, I wore a headscarf, head cover on my hair. And I was asked by a Black woman, why did I come to work with my scarf on? I said, this is not the scarf I sleep with at home, at work. This is a head covering. So what's the problem? She tried to tell me then that it was not professional. And I beg to differ. Yeah. So I've had that come from a Black woman. I don't know what race the lady told you at McDonald's. I would assume she probably was a white lady in management that told you to take your hair down.
Yeah.
See, how did I guess that?
But, nasty looking.
Yeah, I was told. I was told that also.
Yeah, so I think that Black people, it was just a law too that was passed in California, and it was another state that was recently passed that gave Black people the right to wear their hair in a natural state. I just find it condescending.
Dude, this is how my hair grows. What are you talking about? Do I tell you? Okay? Let me just say this. Y'all know it's about to be some shit. When you have to put dumbass laws into play like that, that's fuckery and foolishness.
Facts.
Just like you. I just don't understand why you have to pass a law or get a bill written up for it to become a law for you to wear your hair the way that your hair grows. I think that is just as stupid as somebody saying that they came out the closet. Who gives a shit? You're a person.
You don't have to announce it. You can do what you want.
Yes, you don't have to announce it. Why do you have to do? I really don't understand it. That's the kind of fuckery and foolishness I don't understand with the United States. You know,
And it's still happening. If you look at
No,
it,
it's still happening.
yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it
it's still happening.
does.
Yeah.
teachers who are cutting off kids' hair in school. Good, God forbid.
Honey, let
God
me tell you
forbid
something. Let me
one of
tell you
my
something.
one of my
God
sons
forbid.
or
Yes.
somebody call me and tell me that somebody done cut their hair off in school. We gonna have a whole entire situation up in
Let me
here.
tell you something. I done flipped up. I have flipped the high school that my daughter was going to. Not that somebody said something about her hair, but for being bullied. I have flipped that goddamn school. So if I'm gonna flip a school, if my child getting bullied, you best to realize I'm gonna flip the fucking school if you cut my damn child's hair.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
gonna
think
beat
that's
your
crazy.
ass and go to jail behind it. Because the
Yeah.
time you have assaulted my child by putting
Yeah.
your fucking hands on my child.
Yeah, say that you. So you're basically saying that these people are cutting people's hair.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
little
That's
girl,
crazy.
little girl. The teacher told her that her hair was distracting, and she chopped off her ponytails. It was a couple of kids with locks, little boys, and the teacher saying, "Oh, if you want to get this scholarship, or if you want to play in football or something like that," and they cut these kids' hair, man. I swear,
When my daughter when I took her out of the high school that I flipped and sent her to private school, her principal for the high school, my daughter had a nose ring in her nose, and the lady sat there in front of me, told my daughter she needed to take the nose ring out because she would never be able to find a job with a nose ring because it was
out of here.
Hold on, it gets worse. Now I'm sitting here. The lady is sitting next to me, and my daughter is sitting in front of the both of us. I have a nose ring on this side, on my left side. She was sitting on the right side. I turned to her and said, "Really? How is that? How is that unprofessional? I work for the government, so how is that unprofessional?" And she says, well, it is. I said, well, I work for a commander on the base. So again, how is that unprofessional? She said, because she has a nose ring. I said, that nose ring right there. She said, yes. I said, that size right there. She said, yes. I said, well, I told her to get it done. She said, well, Miss Powell, she probably wouldn't get a job there. I said, ironically, you're looking at me, but you don't see the same nose ring that I have. That's the same diameter in my nose.
It don't matter. It don't matter if you jog it. It don't matter if you got locks. It don't matter if you got nose rings. It don't matter. You black, and you need to fall in line. And you need to do what you need to respect this authority that we handing over you. And, it's funny because my husband, he has 2 sleeves of tattoos on his arms, and he's tatted out, right? When he goes to work, whether it's 2 degrees outside or 100 degrees outside, he's got a button up, a collar shirt, sleeves down to his wrists, trying to conceal his tattoos. And we always have this conversation. I'm like, I don't know why you feel the need to do that. And maybe I don't, because I'm not a black man, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I walk in establishments all the time and I see white people with sleeves. There's a lady in my office, a female, she's in her 30s. And I mean, she's got sleeves and she's wearing sleeveless dresses in the office. And so it's like certain things that
there you go.
But on a guy, it means
threatening.
He's a threat. He has no discipline, and he's confrontational.
Yes, that's what it means.
But on the girl,
I ain't no sucker.
But I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it a little bit on that. I have a colleague in my line of work. Now, we're talking about my line of work, dealing with mental health, right? I have a colleague right now who is loaded. So when clients come into our office and they see him, I'm going to be honest with you, it kind of, not that it doesn't stop somebody from flipping out, but
you know look why? Over there. Why? You know why? Because they figured that they can't get over on him.
That's what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
So like I said, in another line of work, I don't know how that would work. But at my office, he's my guy. He got the beard loaded with the tats. No problem at all. So
it's about
so even with in the wintertime, you got on long sleeves, but no, he will roll up the sleeves. No problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. So there was a technician on another base that I worked in, and he had locks, and he was going to work at one of the agencies that I used to work at when I was active duty, and he had locks. And so he was happy about going to this agency. And I told him, I said, look, I I just need you to promise me one thing. He said, yeah. Oh, he was saying how he was going to have to cut his hair off and this and that and the other. And I said, okay. I said, well, James, I said, I just need you to promise me one thing. He said, okay. I said, promise me you will never cut your locks unless you're tired of your locks. He said, okay. I said, but always make sure that your locks are maintenance and maintained at all times. And he says, okay. I said, don't cut your hair, but just make sure that they're maintained and pull back. I said, because where you're going, they're very, very political. They're very political. And the slightest little thing, they would try to blackball you. You're a cool little dude. You're very awesome. You're a great technician. Don't change who you are. Just only don't change who you are, but don't try to give them anything because they'll try anything. They're very political. And so he said, okay, and he's been there for a couple of years now, still with his locks and doing an amazing job over there. And I think he's actually a lead now.
It's funny because in my single days, I would never date a man who had maintenance locks. Ew.
That's because you so blackity black. I'm black, y'all.
I wish I would. Whereas I'm not. Okay, no, shout out to everybody who get their locks maintenance. I'm sorry. No.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, maintenance means, you know how you see, especially women. It's not so much men. Men get their locks maintenance every two months, really. But it's the women. They get their hair retwisted so much. You can see that they're gonna scalp all the time. Though that's what they're actually called cultivated locks. So that's what we're talking about when we say get them maintenance. But no, I don't like a dude that get the edge up and half of his hair, about this much of his hair
don't do
is
that.
like a short haircut.
Black men,
stop a short haircut.
Yeah.
And the rest of them is like
decide. You want to have locks or you want to get an edge up?
Yeah.
That part right there, that really irks my soul. Like, don't be looking like half Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And half Ray Charles in the front.
Right.
Don't do that.
Well, you know what? That's yeah.
But a man with locks and a beard, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Listen, I think that, the thing for this whole conversation today is just the things that are, that appear threatening as for Black people, the things that we do that are threatening to other people. And I don't know, how much longer we're going to be able to cope with that. Like, it's a lot of pressure that Black people are under in these streets, man. Like, you can't wear your hair a certain way. You can't do this. You can't do that. You always got to feel like you under, you can't be free. You can't be free to be yourself. And that is a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate, and I can share this now. It's so funny. Naturally growing up in Georgia, especially when I was in college in Atlanta, I got tons of speeding tickets for speeding. Anybody that lives in Atlanta, so all my people that's in Atlanta, everybody knows you go speed around 285, right? You're going to speed around Interstate 285. So, of course, I've got speeding tickets. My driver's license got suspended, but I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. When I would go to court.
Suspended? You're such a criminal. Oh, my gosh.
I'm such a criminal for suspended license in Atlanta. 1999, you didn't want me in Atlanta. They didn't want me in Atlanta no more. So anyway, make a long story short, I went to court with a suspended license, whole package. But you know what? My uncle told me, he said, I want you to dress up going to court. I want you to, wear a shirt and tie. When I went to court, that the judge ended up changing it from a suspended license to an invalid license. All based on my appearance.
Wow.
My uncle, just because I went in there, and that's not the first incident. I'm gonna share this another incident as well. But I got a speeding ticket driving around Atlanta.
Joanna said you almost ran her over.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, Joanna, I did. I'm not even gonna lie, I did. I was bad. I was going to my security job. But the reality is this. But yeah, I went to court, and it was so sad because all of the other black people that were in that court, they were thugged out. They baggy jeans, long white t-shirts, the whole nine. So
Looks
I've
like the
seen it.
franchise boys.
Yeah, it's sad to say.
Not the franchise boys.
The franchise boy. When I got in front of the judge was like, "I'm gonna change it from suspended license to invalid license." I had to pay my fine, and that was it.
Wow.
That was it. Just based on the appearance. Based on appearance. And so appearance does play a part. We as black men, we have to understand that portion.
Right.
When you walk around with the long white t-shirts on, now I'm not saying not to represent for fashion, because that at one point in time,
you're going to court. There is no fashion.
Right. No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying you can't walk around with that type of gear on, but you can't go to court like that. There's a time and a place for that. I think that's the misconception that people have had of the African American men, because we're dressed one way and we're carried all the way out. You can't wear a white t-shirt to church. You can't wear a white t-shirt to court.
A lot of times, black men get talked about also for doing that.
Huh?
I said a lot of times when black men switch it up, they look like a thug in the street, but when they go to court, they go in with the eyeglasses or a suit or something. They get talked about too. Like, oh, I just saw him down the street. Now he's in court looking like a white boy. What the hell does that mean?
But I walked out with no ticket though.
I
walked out and didn't have to have a fine.
You was presentable. You had on your Sunday best.
I had on my Sunday best. It's a time and a place for
everything.
And we have to understand that. Now, the reality is this: some white people can go and wear a white t-shirt to work and they 9 to 5 and it's okay. Some people can go here and wear it and it's okay. But we as African Americans, we can't do that. That's just the reality. Okay? I go to court showed up looking like that. If I go to my office looking a certain type of way, they're looking at me funny. That's just the reality. So we have to play a different type of role, and the quicker we understand that, the better.
But I mean, do we really have to conform to that? Like, why should I have to play a role?
Yeah,
why should I have
to play a role? Because there's dress codes. Now, here's the thing: if there are dress codes in place,
no, I know about dress codes. I know about dress codes. That's not what I was referring to.
But a lot of people, our viewers, may not know. If there are dress codes in place, you have to dress the part. If there is no guidance or SOP in the dress code, then yes, you should be able to be presentable at work. And I don't mean coming there with no daggone shorts on, or that you need a pair of slacks on.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a supervisor. That chick would wear thong flip-flops to work. Man, where we do this at? And on top of that, we're in the IT field. Why are you doing that? First of all, rule number 1 when you're in IT is you don't wear open-toe shoes.
Facts.
It don't matter where you work. You just don't wear open-toe shoes.
Because you don't know if you're going to be in a server room or under a desk. You don't know where you're going to be. So your feet might want to be protected.
Right. That's why I don't wear dresses. When I used to try to wear a dress every once in a blue moon, that'd be the same damn day I had to go and climb up under a damn desk.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this no more.
You just gotta.
It never failed.
Right. So unfortunately, I understand exactly what Kayla Nay is saying. Why do we have to go to that extreme? Why do we gotta confirm? Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, because we are looked at differently. If I walk into a restaurant with a suit on, I get looked at one way. If I walk into a restaurant with a white t-shirt on or my pants sagging off my butt, I'm getting looked at another way.
Well, yeah, I mean that's as you should.
Huh?
If you go in there in your pajamas, I'm gonna look at you. Again, I don't go to McDonald's and stuff. But still, I'm gonna look at you.
It's true. But you know what? Somebody will walk in McDonald's with some pajamas
on. And Walmart. That's why I don't go to Walmart.
It's the truth.
And if I go, it's early in the morning, because guess what? Walmart is the hood.
I don't know why people feel comfortable wearing their pajamas outside of their house.
But it's a style.
I don't know either.
Believe it or not.
And then you take some nasty self back home and go get in the bed with them pajamas. That's nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know why people go to the store in their pajamas.
I don't understand it. But
the other thing is when people are running errands, or they just make like this right here, running errands or whatever, and then they go and lay down in their bed. You get all kinds of crap.
Take your outside clothes off.
Yeah, that's just hygiene. That's just somebody with just bad hygiene if you're doing that.
No, I'm not saying they're in the bed to go to sleep. I'm saying they just lay down in the bed. Like,
she might
watch
just
TV.
That's still bad hygiene.
Yeah, take your
nasty.
outside
Yes, you
clothes off.
go. Yeah, take them clothes off. That's just
Especially in the
extremely
corona.
bad
Get it
hygiene.
in.
Well, with the corona, you ain't messing with that. You ain't. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something so funny about that. Since
Just
we talking about the
naked to
corona,
get in there.
yeah. But you know what? People go tighten up after this corona thing. You gonna take a shower every time you come through the front door. Quick.
Shit, I'm doing that now because I'm so damn. I've got such a phobia. My
Yeah,
son will
yeah.
come in the
Everybody
house,
taking a
and I'm like,
shower.
hey, because he worked part time at Home Depot. I said, hey, where
Right.
your mask at? He said,
Where
it's
your
in the car. It's in the car. Man, go upstairs and take a shower. No, you're 21, but go upstairs. Don't go in your room and
Yeah,
shit. He's
yeah.
like,
You go
what?
out.
I said,
If you step
Mateo,
out, you
you
gotta
are
take a
at
shower.
Home Depot. Those people are contractors. They're essential personnel. They have to work. You don't know if they got the cooties or not. And so he's like, okay, I didn't think about that. And he goes on, and because the reality of it is this: none of us have lived in a lifetime where we've had a pandemic. Now we've heard of H1N1. What is it?
H1N1. Yeah.
SARS,
H1N1.
bird flu, but it has never been to this magnitude to where we don't know if we should touch stuff or not, or how you get it, where you get it from. I just read an article the other day that they were trying to say that coronavirus was found in this man's semen. How the hell did that damn happen? And is that possible when it's supposed to mess with your upper respiratory?
Please.
Well, you know what?
Got a date tonight. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about no contaminated.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times
it's so many conspiracies out here, so
exactly,
you don't even know what is what.
That's the dangerous part, is that it's too much misinformation out here floating around.
And to be honest with you, they still trying to figure it out themselves.
They are.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Because I don't know. They don't know. They
don't
really
know.
Don't.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Did you guys see the other day? And oh God, we only got 9 more minutes left. But did you guys see the president and all his friends? They went to Arizona and they all had on no mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see that?
He wasn't gonna put one on.
Yeah.
His whole crew.
Well, how about?
Hold up before you say anything. Yeah. Pence came back and he was like, maybe I should have wore a mask when I went to visit all those people at the hospital. You think so, dummy?
Yeah.
Think so?
Two of Pence's aides got the coronavirus.
Yeah. And
in the White House right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know the funny thing they said that the whole administration, the reporter said that when they go inside of the White House, there's nobody inside the White House wearing masks.
I'm not surprised. I think my wife and I both say.
Wait a minute, they got corona force fields around the White House.
I don't know. Y'all in the DMV.
45 has also said that he's going to get. He wants to get tested. He wants to get tested daily. I said, "You dummy! Do you really want that Q-tip stuff?
Ooh, that's right.
Up your nose to the back of your head every damn day."
Hold up, though. Hold up, though. The selfish and the narcissistic personality, homie. How you can afford to get tested every day? And it's people out here who in a hospital who ain't even been tested. That seems
he has Trump money.
Girl,
he has
unethical. Unethical.
See, and that's why people are not fuckery and foolishness.
That's
yeah, but
that's
you know
your signature
what?
line.
That's your signature line. Hashtag that.
Yes, hashtag fuckery and foolishness.
Right. But that's why people are not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at the administration, the people that's supposed to guide this country. Right. My wife brought something to my attention. My father-in-law was basically saying you're supposed to follow the head, right? Follow the leader of the head. I'm not quoting it right, but the head. How
the head,
can
not the tail.
Yeah, the head, not the tail. How can I follow the head?
I follow the ass if I got to deal with Trump.
But you know that now, though. But look at how crazy it is, though. Look at how the whole
thing.
To
add to that, EJ, the fact that you said that brings up an excellent point, because what I've been seeing on my Facebook feed is people posting, if Corona is real, how come everybody on TV ain't wearing masks?
Shut up! Now that's fuckery and foolishness. This is pre-recorded.
That's what they say, though. That's what they be like, yo, you don't see Trump and them people up in the White House in those press conferences. They don't wear no masks. The press conferences, nobody has on no masks.
But you'll find out how serious this is when it hits close to home.
Facts.
All it takes is for somebody to die in the White House. They'll be like, okay.
Facts. Let's strap
We'll
up. It's too late now.
step
It's
up.
done ran
It'll be too
rampant.
late at that point, but yeah, it done ran rampant. But they still don't take it seriously because if they took it seriously, you would see them with the mask on their face. The news reporters in Miami, the news reporters in Atlanta, they all have on masks, or at least some of them. But definitely the ones in Miami, and definitely here in New York.
And I've seen some pretty dope masks, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope they work.
Yeah, I hope they work too.
I think they do. I'm saying yeah, but still, at least they got a mask on. Your damn president don't.
Right. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. How can you got somebody you got a guy that's supposed to be the president of the United States lead, show us something. Lead by example. Yeah. How can I take you serious?
That's too much like right.
I hear you.
He's two.
But then he's still in the office. You understand what I'm saying?
We're not about to have this conversation again.
Because this
we damn sure not about to have this conversation again.
But at the end of the day, in order for this to be seriously, we're gonna pause that because we're gonna go in a whole other lane. Yeah, we're gonna pause that.
I just want to say that this episode of
Unfiltered no more.
I just want to say that this episode of Unfiltered No Chaser is sponsored by blackwomen. Periods with the T on the end. Make sure you guys go and check out her Instagram page or Facebook page. Go and share, show the sister some love. She's out here supporting children and breaking generational curses and completely revamping Black women's image in the media. So we give her lots of gratitude and love and respect.
Yes. Gotcha. Thank you again, Tia.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all next week. Same back channel. At our regular time, and Erskine wants to say something else before we go see Jill.
Before we roll out of here, we got 4 minutes. Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Justin Douglas. Minutes. Oh yeah, we give a big shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Justin Douglas Holloway, my fellow Morris Brown College brother. He made this dope Morris Brown College shirt, so we could everybody check out Justin at justdoesit.com. He has a lot of nice attire, very uplifting for the African American community, for everybody. You know, he has a lot of nice clothing, so everybody check him out. Justdoesit.com. Justdoesit.com.
And we want to hear from our business owners. If you have a business, you can contacting us right now so we can create this community where we can all support each other.
Right.
Yeah. So if you got a business, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram.
Yes, and from the bottom of our hearts, we really love you all and we adore you all for actually supporting us. And you know, we're just still in awe every week. Again, like every time we get ready to do this show, it's like a big hype. I think it's really starting from Thursday.
Especially
we start getting really, really hype. We start getting really hype until, like Erskine said, Saturday morning, we're trying to figure out what we're wearing. Not that we're going anywhere, but we just trying to look, a little fly for you all. And we really appreciate you all because honestly, without you, the viewers, we wouldn't really have this platform. And we would also like for you to share our platform. Tell other people about our platform, both verbally and on your social medias. And again, we thank you. And I guess we're gonna get ready to see Jill and Erica.
Hey, unfiltered, no chaser.com. Facts. Bye.